CAST of R&B. You like that? You like that?
Is that Eddie singing?
No, definitely not me singing. It's
I wish.
That's not you.
I wish.
No, it's not me. I paid someone.
Like Carl Thomas, I wish.
That does sound like if you had a singing voice, that was it.
That would be me.
Hillary and Eddie. Like I can sound that sound like you.
And Eddie.
Okay, maybe
Oh
not.
my God.
Okay.
The R&B video face. Do it again, Eddie. I want to see.
Welcome to another episode of CAST of R&B.
Yes, I'm Hillary, aka Killer Hills.
I am Eddie, aka Silver Fox with the Afro. I got my pick action going today.
Yeah, this is big pandemic energy, big self-quarantine.
Yeah, this is what
Ain't been to the barber in months.
Being black looks like right now.
Yeah, ooh, really? The pick and the army fatigue. We're going hard. We're just out here with a cream background, ready for more and masterpiece songs. I don't know, maybe both, maybe one or the other.
Hillary, who we got today?
Today, on this episode of the Cast of R&B, we are talking to the fabulous Kirby and her dog Queenie.
Yeah,
Shout out to
but she's gonna be quiet. Hopefully,
I don't know. She barked during the intro music, but I'm here for her in her moment. Like you have a voice too, Queenie, in the struggle.
Yes, Queenie. Yes, baby, you do.
Matter.
Yes, they do, honey. Especially when they got a black owner. So she definitely matters, honey.
A black
she
owner?
Definitely matters.
From Mississippi.
Yeah.
From Mississippi, South Haven.
Oh, hold up. Don't tell them the zip, Eddie. Don't tell them the zip. But yeah, we from that South Haven, honey. In my cricket letter. I thank y'all for having me. I'm hype. I'm ready. All
right. So tell us a little bit about this new album, Sis. If you could describe it, like your music to newcomers to your genius, what would you say? I sound like,
wow, man. I mean, honestly, I feel like my whole goal is to sound like Future Funk. That's the whole sonic goal. I really wanted to write a record that reminded Black women that we're loved, that we're valued. I went into the studio, honestly, kind of mad at this guy and was not expecting to write all these kind of love songs about monogamy and, you know, being in a healthy relationship. But because I started off in a relationship with him that was quite healthy, I guess when I came to the studio, that part had to come out as well. So, I mean, I tell everybody all the time, I said, I don't want to be looked at as some star, as some woman that's unattainable. Really, when you see me somewhere or when you come on my Instagram or when you listen to my music, you really should feel like you're listening to your sis. I mean, point blank, period. So when that title came, I was like, yeah, that feels right, because I don't feel like the goal is to be some type of woman that is just some ideal. No, like I just really want women to listen to my music and feel like they're talking or listening to their best friend. So hopefully they feel that way. I will be mad a little bit on the next record because apparently he's engaged. So we got a little bit of we're still healing.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Congrats to him. Congrats.
Oh my God, yes. Congratulations. Oh my God.
Right. All that. Ooh, child, all of that.
On another note, in terms of struggles, you know, it's been a wild week in Black America. I feel like every week we do this podcast and we say, "Oh, this has been a wild week in Black America," and then the next week comes and it's just like even wilder.
Yeah,
and I'm like, yo, it's not even a 5-day break, like a 3-day break. There's no break. So how are you holding up? How are you?
I feel like honestly, I'm gonna be real. When I look at my timeline now, I feel like everybody's trying to slowly transition back into a sense of normalcy, and I'm not about it. My thing is figuring out how can we keep the conversation going when people start getting emotional fatigue, which I feel like is what is happening now. And our grandparents and great grandparents, they were in that thing for the long haul. I feel like we really kind of have to figure out how are we going to refresh ourselves in order to keep this conversation going for as long as it needs to go, because we as a people, it's just not time for us to be tired. And I feel the weight of it. I really do. Like, I had so many conversations with non-POC over the last few weeks about issues and seeing like white men in tears, which I personally never experienced before, which had me kind of shook. And I'm like, wait, like what? It just was weird. It's been a very weird and heavy, like the word that consistently comes up.
Or not?
Yeah, well, I think they were crying because they felt really what it felt like to be Black in America and realize, you grow up in a place that has not made space for you, and everything in their life has made space for them. And I think once they really, when you have that one-on-one conversation with somebody, that's never really had it with somebody they know, they've just kind of watched it on, behind the screen or in front of the screen. I think it just hit them differently. I was kind of shook, but I feel like for me, I'm just trying to, of course, Black activism is also learning how to have joy in the midst of this, but also not needing so much joy that I get distracted from the fact that we still need to be using our voices to amplify the issues. Breonna Taylor's killers are still not arrested, quite frankly, right? Yeah, right. I think Kentucky had like hella voter suppression today with like only having like one,
I believe
one.
Two Democrats have filed some sort of court stay, and they're telling people to stay in line, and people are beating windows like, let me in to vote.
Girl, and
wild.
I seen the lady, whoever is over the thing in Kentucky, she was like, yeah, I'm not gonna let letters from celebrities pressure me into doing things. So I mean, clearly we just have people in higher positions of power that just do not care. So I don't know, my prayer is like, Lord, show me how to creatively keep Black people, not Black people, but Black lives in the minds of people who would rather think about something else creatively. How can I do that? Because I'm not here to entertain y'all. I'm here to tell y'all, we got some stuff that still needs to be fought for. So how can I do that without making, it's almost like putting the broccoli in a piece of a brownie. Like, people think they're eating a brownie, and the next thing you know, you get like a whole vitamin. It's like, oh, ooh, I didn't know I was about to really just get something real like that. How can I, continue to give out a message about what's going on in a way that people are not even expecting? It's like, oh, I didn't even know that's where that was headed. That's what I'm trying to figure out, because people are tired.
I think that's a good point, because I think there are so many different layers to the Black Lives Matter conversation that people are having simultaneously.
Yeah.
So I think it's interesting that you have used your voice through TikTok and how to have a non-racist breakfast, because apparently people didn't know that the breakfast was racist. Please tell us a little bit more about schooling us.
Sis, I didn't know.
Non-racist.
First of all,
you didn't see that mammy on the box. What you mean?
Okay, let me tell you something. Being from Mississippi, Aunt Jemima was really a part of our culture. Like, I remember having breakfast, and like we got the syrup and we got the box. My daddy's hungry. Like I literally.
My dad is hungry.
Yeah, so we about to flip these pancakes, and it's low-key vegan. So if you make it without eggs, I was like, oh, this is easy. Now I had become so subconsciously conditioned to seeing her on there that it really wasn't until I went to my fridge. This is really why I got the idea. I was hungry. It was in my fridge, and I went and I looked. I was like, oh, I wonder, is this Black owned? You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, oh wow, this could be awesome. And girl, it's the opposite, sis. I mean, but I'm
literal sis.
Yeah, like for real. Like, I mean, but that just goes to show you that my family has that in their homes. Like, it's so many little subtle things that are racist in front of us that I think for me, especially being from the South, you just kind of grow up thinking, okay, this is just you don't question it. You don't think that there's a way for that to change. And for me, I think this whole movement has really challenged me to kind of recondition my mind to ask myself, what am I accepting on a daily basis that is offensive, that must have subconsciously told myself this can't be changed. And honestly, I learned about Aunt Jemima because I literally had it in my fridge. Yeah, I have,
It was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, I was like, oh, so, and I got a friend that night. I went up to his apartment, my homie, and I looked at his, that's before I even posted the video. He had the syrup, he from Mississippi as well. So I'm like, wait a minute, we just not thinking here. We got the pancake, the syrup. I mean, and we're educated Black people. So I was asleep. I once was blind.
But now
I see. I really see. I'll never unsee again. I really won't.
Yeah,
I really won't.
There's so many different layers to the conversation and being in corporate America and working at a label, right? Where there is not a lot of us there, the conversations have gone completely in another direction. For example, I had 3 of my white counterparts text me on Juneteenth, which we had the day off officially, to say happy Juneteenth. And I was like, is
that what we want?
Should I wish you happy Yom Kippur, or should I say happy Rosh Hashanah? I don't know how to really react here, but again, right. We have a different conversation. I think that we're in a position now to continue to voice our concerns. But I'd be interested to hear, how are you, obviously being quarantined, right, and obviously working on music, how are you taking some of these experiences and channeling them into your new music?
Let me tell you something, Eddie. The funny thing is, before this even started, my whole project was about being a female and being Black in America. So I had all these songs, and I was shook because I was like, dang, that's where my spirit was. That's where my soul was. And it just so happened that life is aligning. So that's where the whole emotional climate of people, that's where we are as a nation. So it has not altered my cause as far as music, because literally I was on hashtag Miss Black America. That's the whole premise of this project. That's where my head has been at. So for me, it's been confirmation that we need more of this. Solange can't be, Beyonce can't be the only, and they're not the only, Badu, Jill, but we just need, you can't have too much representation. I don't think you can have too many people talking about this. So for me, it just confirmed that, since this is something that you need to be doing. And just really going back to what I was saying with Hillary, it's so many things that I've had to unlearn. Growing up in the South and really just adapting to your environment where there's so much segregation, where the white gaze is so important, and colorism is still a thing. I don't know. For me, I've had to put it in the music, because I'm trying to learn how to love myself and accept my Blackness and unlearn a lot of things. So it was naturally coming up in the music, Eddie. And it just so happened that all of this, started to happen. But yeah, I'm not putting, one thing I will say it has done, it's affected what I write for other people, because a lot of my producers that I work with, of course, are non-POC, especially when I'm songwriting. And if I ever feel like, how sometimes it's, for me, it's going to be very hard to just go back to writing to writing just turn up songs for me. There is no turn up. I don't care if I'm not trying to place a frivolous record right now. I'm just not. I don't feel like that's what we need to hear. I'm not trying to give you any type of minstrel show when it comes to me writing for myself or writing for others. So I've really had to kind of put a break on, writing for other people with producers, because it's like, what are we saying? What are we saying here? Because, when you're trying to place a record, usually you're going for tempo. You're not, you're going for something that feels good. But if it's just feeling good to make people forget, I'm not really here for that right now. So
Yeah, I was
you
first
know.
you as a songwriter. So, whether it be Kanye or Rihanna or B, and I don't even, and I can't think of anything off the top of my head. I've never known you to be a songwriter that has done those type of records. Every record that I've heard that you've been a part of has had some type of depth and had some type of passion and message behind it. But
Mm-hmm.
who are you, working with right now, whether it be for your own project or for
Mm-hmm. First off, thank you for saying that, because I really, sometimes I look at my discography and I'm like, I hope that it does seem like there's a common thread of like message and passion and purpose behind it. I'm really hype about the John Legend record that we just got placed. Don't Walk Away with
I've heard of
Coffee.
that
I
guy.
feel. Oh yeah, shameless plug, Eddie.
I've heard of that guy.
I am hype about that. You know what? I've really found this one producer. I did the first record with the Dab Kings, and I found this new producer, who just did, I forget the girl's name, Alina Baraz's. Yeah, he executive produced Alina Baraz's album. He's a young guy. And he plays like every instrument in the book. So we honestly, him and I have been working on the record because, child, everybody in New York, we can't get together in no studio. And the Dap Kings, Minahan, Streethand, they're all based out there, and they're not, ain't nobody gathering them together because of the COVID thing. So I've worked with Spencer for this record, but I really feel like as a songwriter, I only want to align myself with people who are using their voice for something important. And like the people you just named, they stand for something. And those are the only type of people that I can see myself wanting to give the pen to at this time, because, I'm not writing songs to distract people from what's going on. But a lot of times, when you're working, Eddie, and the artist isn't there, you feel that pressure just to write a big song. You get what I'm saying? You're like, oh, let me just write something that this might sound good on radio. Especially if the artist isn't there to really kind of give you some type of
Direction.
focus and direction. You're just like, you might be on a Zoom call with a producer and they just want to write a big song. Oh, this sounds like Lizzo. Well, this sounds like Demi Lovato. And it's like, hold up, what do they really want to say at this time? And for me, that's impossible to write unless you're in the room with them. So I'm just trying to make sure that whatever I'm writing for myself or for others really speaks to the time that we're in, and I'm okay with that. If it don't make you dance, then okay. It may be time to cry. Maybe we need some shed a few tears. Somebody else will make you dance.
And just speaking, I want to button up the Ancient Mama thing. So this week, the company did announce that they were going to change the name. I don't know what they're going to change it to, but something like, also syrup to pancakes,
right.
syrup company. I don't know.
Yeah.
So, Kirby's TikTok worked. And
her family, the family of Nancy Green, I will say, still has not been properly compensated, and I think that's something that's not getting a lot of attention. Yeah, but if anything, I think it would be
for the listeners who don't know. Not to interrupt you.
Nancy Green was the lady that was hired to actually be the quote unquote Aunt Jemima, and she was a former slave, and she was hired by Chris Rudd, who was the founder. But her family, I think it's a great-granddaughter, I believe, they're speaking of how they still have not been properly compensated. And I don't know how she deserves to be honored. You know what I'm saying? She deserves to be honored. And I don't know how they're going to do that. But I empathize with them because, they're saying, hey, we don't want this to go away without her having, proper acknowledgement. And I agree. So hopefully they find a way to do that, because clearly she was the marketing tool that made that thing go. So they, to not properly afford their family what they deserve, that's not fair. It's not fair. So
on the funnier side, it's like, I wonder what they're gonna do when the Popeyes lady, when they realize, ooh, that's where the Popeyes lady is. Really,
girl, I listen.
Like, wait till you realize that's why Black people been mad about the Popeyes lady for years.
Listen, That's what I'm saying. This
The
marketing stuff be
Popeyes
getting you,
lady, the
girl.
Pine Sol lady. There's some lady
Oh
smelling gains.
Lord
She's looking really,
Jesus.
really hype in the store about the smelling of.
Ooh, Lord. I'm still not ready to accept the Popeyes lady ain't really the woman who's behind Popeyes. That took me, I think I learned about that when I was like still in high school. And I was like, what? What do you mean? Like, am I, it's crazy how they profit off our faces but don't really give us our due. It's just not it's not cool.
It's pretty
It's
wild.
not cool. It's
Queenie.
Queenie.
So we have also on the
testify.
podcast. Go ahead, Silver Fox. Please introduce our fourth guest.
Oh, Queenie.
Our fifth guest.
Queenie got something to say. She like, no, listen, y'all ain't gonna be the only ones talking about being black in America.
I was in Crooklyn. I know what it is. Queenie is a tiny Pomeranian. And if you never watched Spike Lee's movie Crooklyn, the old auntie, the old southern auntie in the movie had a Pomeranian named Queenie who met with a sad demise in a couch. And I don't know even how that happened. No. And it was terrible. This Queenie is not gonna, that same fate is not gonna befall this Queenie. She's here and she's ready with her cuddles. She's chewing the microphone cord. It's great.
Yes. She's so happy. She's smiling.
Right. So tell me a little bit about when you're writing songs for yourself, how is it different, and like working with your producer on Sis, because it's very like soulful but funky, and like you called it future soul,
future funk.
Future funk. Is that like, does that in any way intersect with Afrofuturism?
Yes, girl, that's the whole visual for the new project, girl. We're going Afrofuturism. I gotta turn that up. I love that.
Oh my God, are you gonna dress up like Watchmen? This is exciting. Where are we going with this?
I'm scared of that show.
I'm scared of that show. What you gonna do?
They said a lot of people be dying in that show. I haven't watched it, but they said it's so bomb.
Well, they did the beginning of, they started with the Tulsa Massacre. And so that's the intro. That's why white people were like, oh my God, I didn't know. And like, oh, you didn't know your ancestors ripped through black communities and killed people and lynched people and literally dropped bombs on whole black towns. Like, you didn't know? Well, it happened. And this is how they started this HBO show. So welcome. Come on.
I gotta read. Speaking of which, there's a book. Yeah, oh my gosh, I really gotta watch it now. I actually didn't know it had that angle to it.
What's your book? Tell me about your book. What book?
What is it called? White Fragility? Have you heard about this?
White Fragility.
Fragility, yes. Yes.
That you read the white lady that other white people like to be yelled at by.
I've heard, right? Like if they're going to be yelled at, it has to be from her. Yeah, I've heard that. A couple of people have told me to read that.
I don't think you.
But back to Queenie, stop, baby. Why are you barking like this? Hold on, girl. So back to the record. Yes. Honestly, I'm gonna tell you something. Just on a lighter note, on a happier note, the whole Minahan band is white. I think it's one black guy in there. And one thing I will say is that when I was in that room, it was not once that I feel like my color they were seeing me as, oh, there's a black woman in the room. Was I treated differently? Do I feel like my voice was diminished? I think all of this has really made me appreciate the rooms that I've been in and felt that there was no sense of white superiority in the room. Like, and I'm working with all white males. You get what I'm saying? So I feel like one thing, if I didn't have music, if I didn't have those experiences that reminded me that it really is possible to be in a room and see people as people, knowing that they're white, knowing that they're black, but also just having a bond and a unity. I feel like that's really what I come away with from this record, is knowing that, dang, like, I really did make this in a room with men. Of course, we're dealing with opposite sex, and we're dealing with white men. And not once did I feel like, uncomfortable or small, or I don't know. And I feel like that had a lot to do with just working with good people. So especially in times like this, it's just good to have a point of reference for all white people are not consistently operating ignorant to our issues or just wanting to be in a bubble where they don't care. Like they have been posting about protests and being in the streets in New York almost more so than some of the Black people that I follow. Like they've been about it. So I will say that's one of the positive things about working on this record is that I get to look at it and post and be like, dang, we didn't just make music together. These are people that I actually respect when it comes to real issues. So we just had a great time working the record. I mean, all of them play instruments, girl. So we'll just be in a room just jamming. I mean, that's honestly, I have voice memos on my phone and it's literally somebody playing drums, somebody playing bass, somebody playing keys. And I'm just scatting the record. And it was just, we made the record in 2 weeks in New York. And it was the happiest 2 weeks of my life, because it was like 2 years of me being in Mississippi and being like, okay, what in the world is going to happen with my life? And it was like God just gave me this 2 week moment of like hope of like, Kirby, you leaving LA and leaving songwriting was not in vain. Like I had these people waiting for you. It just took all these no's in order for you to get to them. So I made the blackest record that I've ever made with so a whole lot of white guys, a whole bunch of white dudes. But what I will say is they respect the culture, they respect the sound, and I have no choice but to respect them because of that. I really do.
Yeah, it's
no
funny
sense
how God will put you, or the universe, or God,
whatever you want to call it, yeah,
ancestors, will put you in a space and be like, here's where you are going to thrive. I know you came from all these other different moments where you thought it wasn't going to work, but I was really trying to ping pong you back to this place. You just listen. Okay. And then when you get in that moment, you're like vibrating. You're like, yes, girl. What I was supposed to be doing. I did it.
Yes.
Me for like getting there. I'm slow, but thank you for your patience.
Yes, girl.
I made it. It took me a second.
Listen, a heck of a second, sis. But thank God, it really was one of the happiest moments. It really was.
So, what's your favorite song off of it? Because I'm gonna say I really like. I feel like "Don't Leave Your Girl" is giving me big Amy Winehouse vibes.
Yeah.
And
I say "We Don't Funk." I would say "We Don't Funk" would be mine. What was about to be your second one? Let me guess. Apple.
Because I like the California Dreaming line. I do like that.
It's like that means you in love. That means you in love.
I'm in love.
That means you in love. I like it. You got somebody you love. That's why you chose that one.
I love my husband.
Yes, come on. How long you been married, Hillary?
Oh my God. We got married in 2014.
6 years. You're newlywed almost. You made the 5-year hump.
Right. Eddie been married longer than me. That's why I got the stank face just then. Tell us about it, old head.
Oh yeah, Eddie.
10 years in July. Holla at me.
Wow. Y'all gonna do a vow renewal? For everybody does one for 10 years.
Oh, well, we had something lined up, but this thing called COVID came along and
that's a sour, sad Jamaican song.
Oh.
So we're gonna be here at the house looking at. Well, we're actually gonna be at our new place because we're moving and my whole house right now. Boxes and all types of shit. We've been purging. I was like, can we purge the kids too or nah?
Oh my God.
It was a nah, the kids.
I want to purge my child. I'm kidding.
No. Y'all be good. Listen, my daddy always says, this is what he tells me, he said, you better have a kid so you have somebody to take care of you when you get old. So listen, your older life seems to be taken care of. If you got kids and they love you, hopefully they love you when you're old.
I got three. It's like it's a lottery. One of these is gonna work.
I got one and a dog, and I'm pretty sure the dog is not going to outlive me.
You got one baby?
I have one baby.
Oh my goodness.
One is human, and one has 4.
Yeah, I know, right? Because the fur baby really becomes your baby. The dog is gonna be loyal.
Yeah, the dog's gonna hold me down, but he's not gonna live to hold me down when I need it. That's the struggle.
I know.
Really butter up this kid, make sure it lasts for the long haul.
Yes, honey, you're gonna need them. That's true.
So wait, so your favorite song is that one? Or were you
I say We Don't Funk. Yeah, I really love that song. And I feel like, I don't know, I've always wanted to like feel like how James Brown would feel when he would be on stage and just like sweaty and just gritty and just like, I don't know, a whole lot of energy, like D'Angelo Voodoo type energy when he had like Anthony Hamilton as his background singer. Like, I love that. So I mean, I don't know when we'll get together and actually perform the songs live, but I just love funky type of energy. And I feel like it's rare that we get to see women do like Parliament type of energy. I didn't know Parliament got hella drama. I watched a documentary on them, and like a lot of the women in that crew were not treated fairly and all of that. So there's a whole female movement behind this whole funkadelic sonic as well. So I love it. We Don't Funk is my favorite. What's your favorite one, Eddie?
Well, first of all, and I know we're about to run out of time because you got to go get your stretch on. I want to tell you
don't
call me out like that. In the time of the COVID are very important.
The last time I saw Kirby was in Brooklyn. She was performing, and she came on stage. Man. She had the blue. It was blue, right?
Yes, it was.
Type joint and put the arms up. She had the silver with the silver lining. She looked like the Black Wonder Woman coming on stage. Come
on. That's what I'm gonna give y'all.
All them, as Kirby would say, POC, non-POC, excuse me, in the audience in Brooklyn. You know,
color.
The non-POC.
I think now it's BIPOC.
What's that?
We were in the gentrified part of Brooklyn.
Black and indigenous people of color. I had to Google it. I'm not gonna lie.
Is that what we are? That's what we are?
BIPOC? Yes, that's the new acronym.
Oh, girl. I can't keep up.
Well, she came on stage looking like a Black female superhero in this very gentrified room in Brooklyn. And
bruh, hella gentrified.
tore the stage down.
Thank you for coming, brother.
And it was so exciting to see her and perform this music. And I think that you have music that can not only, translate to the non-POC, but also the POC as well.
Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord.
So I'm looking forward to the new music. Question: how are you putting out the new? What company are you putting the new music out with?
Oh, here we go. So this is the same part of the.
I was just curious. If you need music,
you so light skinned for that, Eddie. Pardon me. What company? I don't know. I don't know. But one thing I will say, baby, is I do love Eddie, and I love. This is what I love about Eddie. Let me tell you this. I think we had like a 3-hour meeting. It was me and my mom, Eddie, and maybe one other guy. And honestly, for the first hour, Hillary, we were just like talking. And I think we had bought him like a dessert or something. I had never met Eddie before. I had heard about him. I was like, well, let me bring him a gift. Child, when I tell you, some people, when you bring them something, they just gonna put it down. They ain't gonna eat it in a moment. I say, Eddie's a real one, yo, because he ate it in a moment. I was like, you know what? He was a real one.
I'm worried about the calories. Give me all that.
He's a real one, yo. And I think he had not slept the night before because he had just got in from a flight. So, and that's when I was in Mississippi, and still really trying to, and I still very much am trying to give the music the best opportunity. And I just really appreciate Eddie for real. You just taking the time and just believing in the music, even in that state. I really do. I really, really do. So let the record show, Eddie. I appreciate you.
Let the record show. Let the record show. I love you. You are amazing.
Likewise, my brother.
I can't wait to partner up with you and put this new music out. You guys just throw out.
Can you not do the hard press during the podcast? Give Kirby and Queenie a break.
He still ain't because Eddie still ain't sent me my pies. He ain't sent me no vegan. Why y'all ain't make? Where's my pie? Where my sweet potato pie, Eddie? Where my pie?
Eddie be making sweet potato pies. Where are these?
Oh, you talking about the banana pudding? You talking about the banana pudding?
Oh, it's the banana pudding. See, it's been too long. I done changed it to sweet potato.
That's all I know. That's Patty.
Oh no, I don't want the patty. I need banana pudding. Banana pudding pie. Are y'all still doing them?
Yes. Every now and then. I got you. Next time you're in New York, after the COVID
2021. 2020, right. 21. 2022.
For 2021. We're allowed to come out of the house. Exactly. Right. Who knows, child? Who knows, Queenie?
Queen said they gotta go stretch. They gotta go get on the mat.
Queenie's like, listen, we gotta
Queenie, oh my gosh.
I do want to say thank you, Kirby, for making this. It is a nice little balm to soothe the Black women during this crazy, crazy time.
And I'm gonna take that with me.
I do feel nice and loved when I listen to it. And
Hillary, yes, at the same time. Balm, like honestly, when you see me saying that word, I'm gonna give you credit like the first 5 times, but girl, I feel like I'm gonna be saying that all throughout the year. So just know it came from you. Like I love that this is a balm. Like that's about to be the whole that's about to be in the whole thesis of the next project. So thank you. Look, girl, you are biting my finger. I don't know if that's out of love.
Let the record show that Queenie is acting out. She is in her fight. She's ready to go hard.
Ooh, child.
She's been put off the lap, ladies and gentlemen. Queenie has been booted from the lap.
Baby, I'm a single fire mom. It's tough out here. I don't know where Drake is, but we're gonna have to find her a daddy, a sponsor, or something of some sort. I'm tired.
Slick custody.
Slick custody, girl. I'm ready to co-parent.
Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Kirby.
Thank you.
That's it. Cast of R&B. I'm the Silver Fox, Eddie Blackman.
I am Hillary, aka Killer Hills.
I'm happy to be Black and American. We're out of here. Cast of R&B.
Wow. I'm happy to be Black.
I'm happy to be Black too.
I'm happy to be Black too. Let the record show. All shades. Hey.